America gain its independence?
17.
As we know, this time of year, we getting around to summertime, just around the corner. I know technically summertime is in June, but for me personally, summertime is when my kid gets out of school, and that's around Memorial Day weekend. You know, when she gets out of school, I basically become a full-time dad. So it got me thinking about, vacationing and also places to go and also things that she has learned in school in this particular school year as she moves to the next grade. And I stumbled on this particular video where the person's interviewing young students, I believe teenagers and some college students at a beach. Not too sure exactly what beach it is. I want to say Clearwater, because in my opinion, Clearwater is the best beach out there, in my opinion. I've been to the beaches on the East Coast with Daytona and on the West Coast with Santa Monica Pier and so forth. But the best beaches out there is around the coast, around the Gulf Coast, around Florida, from Fort Walton Beach to Pensacola to Clearwater. But once again, she's at the beach and she's interviewing students and asking them basic historical questions about American society and American history. And I just want to see what these people say, because I always make sure my daughter learns how things work and how things happen, and also learn about history, because I want her to be as knowledgeable as possible. So when she's, of age, she knows how to maneuver through society. And I feel that this is a particular ball that's being dropped with a lot of parents nowadays, because a lot of students don't know what's going on around them because they're not being taught correctly. And teaching starts at home, not in the school. So it's the person's, it's called Liberty Hangout. I'm going to leave the description to her YouTube channel in the summary below. And once again, so it's Liberty Hangout, and she's at a beach and she's going to interview these young people. Let's see what they say.
What year did America gain its independence?
Oh, come on. It's not 1942, because that would be Christopher Columbus.
Who did America gain its independence from?
Christopher Columbus.
So far right now, it seems like these students or these young people, they have an idea because they're throwing out the right names, or not names, but common names at common times, but they don't know how to connect it. So it seems like they heard this stuff in classrooms, but they didn't, pay attention enough to listen and, comprehend what they was listening to. And that's a very important thing. It's a very different distinction between hearing and listening, because listening requires comprehension. And I think a lot of students or a lot of young people nowadays don't know how to comprehend.
What major document was signed at the Constitutional Convention?
Declaration of Independence.
Where was the Vietnam War fought?
John, please.
And these are one of those questions. I do this with my daughter at times. I will ask her a question with the answer in the question, because I always ask her, make sure you're paying attention and listening, because when you pay attention and listening, like I said before, you can comprehend and get the answer fairly easy. Now, this gentleman right here, it looks like the white guy, he figured it out, but the black dude, he's not connecting the dots for whatever reason.
I'm in history class.
What president freed the slaves?
John.
It's funny how he's looking at the you look at the brother, he's like, yo, man, you got to know this, man. It's probably your ancestors were enslaved. And just real quick, when it comes to the whole thing with the Civil War and freeing slaves, they got to stop saying this. I mean, we're over 150 years, 160 years from the Civil War. The Civil War was not fought over slavery. That was a caveat for the fight. But the main thing for the Civil War, and most wars, if not all wars, is about power. Power through natural resources, through land, whatever it may be. At that time, the Union was losing money, becoming obsolete, and they want to extend the federal government's power over to the southern states. And a lot of southern states were not going with that. So that was the main reason for the Civil War. As Lincoln stated, it was to save the Union. Lincoln also stated, I believe, in his letters that it was up to him. He'll send the slaves to Panama. So my black ass right now would be in Central America. It was up to Lincoln, but of course there was abolitionists on his side. Jim Brown. No, not Jim Brown. rest in peace, Jim Brown, but John Brown and many others that were abolitionists that fought hard to end slavery so that people that were enslaved could be free. Granted, that is true, but the main reason for the Civil War was to basically get the Union to become more stronger, and also for the Union to extend their power over to the southern states. And a great distinction of that is that maybe like 50 years after the Civil War is when I believe the 15th or 16th Amendment was enacted, where the federal government was able to tax people's income through the IRS. So nowadays we have to pay 10, 15, 20% to the IRS through our federal income. Back then that was not the issue, and the Union was losing money. So once again, the main reason for the Civil War was for power, and was to restore the Union. It was not really for slavery. Slavery was an issue, but it was not the main issue. It was like on a dinner plate, it was like potatoes. It was not the filet mignon, But it's funny that the brother man didn't know the answer to this.
I have to answer this one.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
He checking his skin color.
You go to college, so you should know all of these. Okay. What is the capital of the United States?
Oh my god, I'm finished with this shit.
Wow.
Oh my god.
What is the capital of the United States?
Washington, D.C. No, it's not Washington, D.C. It's Washington.
No, it's not.
Isn't it just Washington?
It's Washington, D.C.
It's just called Washington.
That's a state. It's Washington, D.C.
I can't believe they don't know that it's just Washington, D.C. I mean, simple things like that kids should know, or young adults should know. And I hate to admit this, but these are not bad looking girls here. I tell you, I swear, being a father, especially as a daughter, is very conflicting. I ain't gonna lie at times. I'll admit, I'm a hypocrite, because sometimes I see a young lady like this look pretty. I'm sure they're over 18. Hopefully they're over 18. And I'll be like, obviously they look pretty, they look cute and everything. But then part of me is like, in my subconscious, the dad in me talks out and be like, yo, put on some clothes. Why are you wearing a two-piece at the beach? Because these are things I would say to my daughter. And I swear, since I became a father, it messes to my mind. It messes my mind. I mean, I guess it's a form of maturity, but it's so funny. I see these young ladies and I'm checking them out. But at the same time, I'm saying to myself, they should be wearing more clothes at the beach. But anyway, let me stop thinking with the big head down below and start thinking with the small head above my shoulders.
What is the capital of the United States?
You know what?
The capital of the United States? Madison.
So what's your name?
Shamar,
Okay. Where are you from?
Azerbaijan.
Okay. And you want to be famous.
Yeah.
What is the capital of the United States?
Washington, D.C.
Very good.
It's a funny thing. A lot of times immigrants know more about our country's history than people that were born and grew up in this country. My dad, when he came from Jamaica, he had told me that he had to take like a citizen competency test back in the 70s. And he knows a lot about U.S. American history. I mean, it's to a point where I need to learn more about Jamaican history, especially from a political standpoint. But just this gentleman right here, just like my dad, people that come over to the country, they appreciate things more and they learn more about a history, unlike, a lot of us Americans who are born and bred here. Very unfortunate.
Very good. Some Americans don't know that. What year did America gain its independence?
1767.
You're very close.
1762.
What year did America gain its independence?
1974.
Yeah, wait.
Never mind, that's my dad's birthday.
What year did America gain?
See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, when you just like so way off, it's like you didn't even get a try when you was in school. Pretty much, that's what that tells me. I mean, you should have an idea of 17 something or early 1800s. I'll go with that. Come on, I mean, whew.
Gain its independence.
Oh.
Oh, come on. It's not 1942 because that would be Christopher Columbus. So.
That's not Christopher Columbus.
Oh yeah. Shoot. Yeah, 14. I'm gonna pass. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
What's your major?
I'm in flight school to be a pilot.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your major?
Hold on a second. All right, I'll let that slide because I know with pilots, I know our friend, he went to aviation school, Emory Middle in Daytona. They got to be more into math. So I'll let that slide for him. I'll let that slide.
I'm going into teaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're okay. I mean, it's not really fair, is it?
Nah.
Who did America gain its independence from?
Christopher Columbus.
Like I said, once again, because Christopher Columbus was mentioned a lot, I'm sure, in history classes that she went to, just like when I went to school. But competency, relating things together, listening skills is very important for these young people. And right now I take a laugh and so forth on occasion. I can laugh right here in this video, but it's a serious issue because that thing metastasizes into something worse when you get more higher and higher in society. Your competency level has to get better in whatever field you're in. And granted, she may not be like a history teacher or anything like that, but you have to know the basic things, the foundations, in order to build upon. Otherwise, you could be easily manipulated. And that's happening nowadays a lot. And it's going to happen, you're going to see a lot more next year in 2024 during election season. I mean, that's when the manipulation goes to an all-time high.
That's our final answer.
Do you have a different one? What do you think about high schoolers that don't know that? College students that don't know that?
It's sad. It's sad. They need to just take more courses.
Yeah.
They have courses, but
They don't need to take more courses. They just need to pay attention. I need to really sit in a classroom one day. Cause I ask my daughter questions, but I don't ask her too many questions. I really just focus more on her. So it's more of a micro thing. I don't do the whole macro. I just want to make sure she knows stuff. But I think it just needs to get to the basics, build that foundation with these children to learn how to connect things together, to know how to comprehend things. That's what I believe it comes to. More teaching is not going to help if it's bad teaching and misleading teaching or ineffective teaching. It's just not going to help.
Who won the Civil War? I'm literally stupid. I can't do it. What'd you say?
Nothing.
I swear, like I said before, either you're a very athletic man or you're a pretty girl. That's the only way you can survive in a society by being stupid. Because if you're ugly and you're unathletic or had no talent, you ain't gonna be able to survive in a society. And in true honesty, I mean, these girls are not ugly, but I mean, they're not that pretty. So they need to learn some stuff.
No idea. Who won the Civil War?
That's you. I don't know.
Wow, she said that's you. You say your black ass better know. Otherwise, you'll be with me in Central America. She said, you better know. That's that white privilege right there, right?
The South.
Who won the Civil War?
Yo. He would be picking cotton on that beach if the South won. Oh my God. Oh man, you gotta laugh to avoid from crying, man. This is sad and funny.
How many world wars have there been?
Oh my God.
John.
3.
All right, I'm gonna end it right there, man. I swear, man, it's very, like I said, I laugh a lot when I see stuff like this and when I do these recordings because one, it is funny, and two, it's trying to avoid from being frustrated and upset. Me personally, when I see videos like this, I just make sure I do my part with my kid, make sure she learns, basic, civil studies or civics, history, math, things like that, English. because we have to prepare the children, of course, for the future. But most importantly, you have to prepare them for a society to continue to propagate that's going to be very flourishing and it's going to be able to, go on further. I thank God that my parents made sure that I studied, even though I didn't want to, make sure they quizzed me, things like that. So like I said, education, training, all that stuff starts in the home. It don't start in the school. The school is just going to be a ancillary help to it, but once again, America, man, we're so lost that this is our future generation. But let me know what you think. Are our young folks really that stupid? I hope not, but I want to hear what you think. All right.
Who won the Civil War? I'm literally stupid. I can't do it. What'd you say?